On the Dream SMP, there are many factions, nations, and alliances spanning the many players on the server. They have come and gone, and since the Doomsday War has recently led to the destruction of Lemannburg, I thought it was a good time to cover all the factions, alliances, or territories on the Dream SMP as of January 12th. And we'll be going over how the factions formed, all of their current members, some of their past members, and their relations with other recognized factions on the Dream SMP. Any factions that have one member, such as Manifold Land, will not be included, since I consider a nation or a faction must have at least 2 players to be included in it. Now, before we start, it would be really awesome if you could check if you are subscribed. It would help out the channel a lot, and you can always sub later. Now, let's get into the factions. First one we are covering is the Dream SMP. Yeah, it's kind of confusing because, the whole Dream SMP thing. So I'm just going to call it the Greater Dream SMP, as some fans do. Anyways, the Greater Dream SMP is the main faction on the Dream SMP server. And is pretty much the default faction most players get placed into until they branch off, join a different faction, or do their own thing. The members of the Greater Dream SMP are Eric, who's the king of the Greater Dream SMP, but really holds no power. Dream, who is the actual leader of the Dream of the Greater Dream SMP, but is currently away from business after the events of the Doomsday War, leaving another member, Punt, as the de facto leader of the faction. Sapnap, George, and Punk are members with having dual citizenship in other nations. Alyssa and Punk are just normal citizens, and H-Bomb, along with Captain Puffy, are knights of the Greater Dream SMP. The form of government currently is a dictatorship with Puns at the head until Dream returns. The faction was formed at the beginning of the SMP when the server was first made, and is currently the longest lasting faction on the Dream SMP. As for members, there's quite a lot. So you will be able to see all of them on screen right now. So now, and that's the basics of the Greater Dream SMP. Now let's get into to the second biggest force of the Dream SMP as of right now, the Badlands. Like Lemannburg, they declared independence from the Greater Dream SMP, but they were allowed to coexist with the Greater Dream SMP, since in the end they have similar goals: to remain neutral and to cause chaos, which obviously aligns with Dream's current goals. The current members of the nation are Bad Boy Halo, the current de facto leader of the country, Ant Frost, and Awesome Dude, or Sam. Their government type is fascist, and their main goal is to keep neutral until there is a good chance to cause chaos. And they want to keep the two main sides, or previous sides, being Lemannburg and the Greater Dream SMP, at odds with each other as long as possible. Skeppy used to be in the faction, and he joined shortly before the Lemannburg-Poctopia War, but left shortly after the war was over. The faction has mostly kept to themselves after the Lemannburg-Poctopia War, and did not partake in the Doomsday War. And now moving on to our last major faction of the Dream SMP, El Rapids, or previously known as Mexican Lemamberg, which was renamed to El Rapids not that long ago. It used to be part of Lemamberg, but split off as of January 1st, 2020. Its current members are Quackity, the leader, the Vice President George Not Found, the Secretary of State Tubbo, and Sapnap, Carl, Puns, and Course Husband being citizens of the nation. All former members of the nation are Mexican Dream, who is dead, he lost all 3 of his canon lives, and Mamacita, who hasn't been seen since Mexican Dream was killed. Like the fallen Lemamberg, El Rapids is a democracy with the exact same government structure as Lemamberg. El Rapids is on good relations with most other factions, since some of its key members are part of some more important factions. Now all these 3 are the current main forces on the Dream SMP and are all recognized by each other. The next 4 or so aren't exactly recognized by everyone, but are operate as their own independent entities. Let's get into those. Our first minor faction on the Dream SMP is Boomerville, a faction made of some of the oldest people on the Dream SMP, shown in their members being Laserbeam and Vicstar, the founding members, and later being joined by H-Bomb. This nation was made to keep away from the more younger members of the Dream SMP. This faction has been neutral in all wars, while it was at risk of being destroyed in the Doomsday War, being so close to Lemamberg. It did manage to survive and wasn't destroyed. It manages to exist to this day with no current threat to its independence. Moving on to our second one, we have a Dry Waters. In this country, or territory it could be called, is a town based far off from the Greater Dream SMP and all other independent entities, made to escape Lemamberg in the Dream SMP in case if a war broke out, and currently only has its founding members of Nikki and Fundy. Both ended up returning to Lemamberg a bit later after founding Dry Waters and leaving it empty, but might return now, because since the Doomsday War came to a close, Lemamberg was completely annihilated, and now they have no current other place to go. Only time can tell. Now this faction isn't really a country and more of an alliance, mostly between its members. I think this because the main ideology of this nation is an anarchy, formed by Technoblade and Philza when Technoblade went far off into the outer reaches of the SMP into retirement. Tommy would later go on to join after escaping exile, but would soon again leave after the events of the Green Festival. But the Arctic Anarchist Commune would soon pick up a new member in Rambo after Philza offered Rambo a place to stay close to a Techno's base after the events of the Doomsday War, being all the 3 members currently. This nation still exists to this day and is on neutral terms with most factions because their biggest enemy was Lemamberg. Now, onto the most recent nation or faction on the Dream SMP. Snowchester is a country located just a bit away from Pandora's Vault, the big prison Dream had Awesome Dude built to imprison someone and who we still don't know. Its founding member Tubbo made of the country not to create a new massive Lamberg, but to just get it away from the greater Dream SMP after the Doomsday War. Its other members are Tommy Innit and Jack Manifold, with Rambo and Eric being right now unofficial members, but spending a lot of time there, so they could be possible candidates for new members in the future. As of right now, it's a neutral country, and with Tubbo moving in with Tommy, its fate is currently unknown. And those are all of the main countries, minor countries, and territories on the Dream SMP. If you do want to learn more in depth about all of these countries, there will be a link to the Dream SMP wiki in the top of the description to where I got all of my information from. I hope you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.